Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the AEW Dynamite post-show for Wednesday, April 14th. Tonight on the show, Darby retains the TNT title, the Young Bucks get mean, and Mike Tyson as the special enforcer. Yo, what's up, everybody? I am Dave, along with my buddies Johnny and Glenn, the AEW Dream Team. How you doing, Glenn? Look at me, man. Glenn W.O.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Wow, better than lingerie. Better than lingerie. Sexier, more comfortable.
You would not want to see me in lingerie. I think the T-shirt is good enough, for now, and unless we want to turn this into Ringside Report OnlyFans, which we could talk about maybe one day.
Yes,
I mean, I'm into any kind of ideas that you have, Glenn, for the show. We're ready. We are open.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. We're open, just like AEW, very open-minded wrestling company. A lot of fun, a lot of different things happening here tonight. A different flavor of wrestling for all sorts of different wrestling fans, I think, tonight. Johnny North, how are you, my friend? How did you like Dynamite tonight?
Very indifferent about Dynamite tonight. Like, I think there were some parts of the show that was good, but it really lacked consistency tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of an up and down show. Just wanted to show off some of my new toys. I got this today. A lot of people have these new AEW toys, but look at this. This is old school. I got this today. This is a WCW Sting from 2001, brother. How you like that, Johnny? I got the Hogan, too. Look at the Hogan.
Look at Johnny's face.
Oh, brother. Johnny does not care at all. Johnny is not impressed with
He blinked twice, and that was it.
Yeah. So I got these.
That was a blink of disapproval.
Yeah. Not impressed.
Oh, he's got so many toys. Like, it's not a big deal anymore.
Yep. Well, this is WCW, though. It's old school. Anyways, we're here to talk about AEW. The Young Bucks starting off the show. Young Bucks. Matt Jackson's been wearing this dangly earring for a while, right? And now it seems like a gimmick. They all have the dangles, little danglers. They're talking about the danglers. And, Matt Jackson's been wearing it for a while. I think Nick's got one now. And they have new outfits, too, because the whole deal with the Young Bucks is that they weren't their old selves. They were too good. They were too nice. They were too corporate. They needed to turn into their old Bullet Club heel selves that got over in New Japan that really made them who they were. That's the angle. That's what Don Callis is pushing for the Bucks. So the Bucks show up tonight after turning on Jon Moxley last week in new outfits. They're wearing leather, black leather. Like, nothing says I'm a bad guy now more than black leather. And those black leather hats, I call it the Buff Bagwell hat, but they were pretty popular back in the, late 90s in pro wrestling. I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels used to wear one. And the Bucks really channeling Shawn Michaels tonight. It really felt like they were trying to be Shawn Michaels, at least Matt Jackson. I don't know about you, Johnny, but when I see Matt Jackson in that outfit, not necessarily in the opening promo, but when they had the whole group there back in the parking lot, Kenny talked, Callis talked, Gallows kind of barked some things, but Matt Jackson's promo, he almost sounded like he was trying to do a Shawn Michaels impression. Did he not remind you of like 96 Shawn with the dangly earring and the hat and the hair? He kind of reminds you of like that shit heel Shawn Michaels that everybody hated in 1995. That's the vibes that I'm getting from Matt Jackson. Do you think he's trying to do that, or it's just by accident? I don't think it's by accident.
Well, I felt in his comeback, it felt very much like Shawn, the way Shawn would kind of like pander to the crowd so much and then like pray to God. Like, it felt like he was trying to be like Shawn the way he was wrestling. So I wouldn't be surprised he's trying to challenge that with his like character a bit, but like, in terms of promo, he's not like Shawn, though. Shawn is, like, 100% jerk, and, like, you could feel that 100% through his promo. Like, Matt Jackson, you can tell he's trying to be a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Jackson, at one point, he says, I've got, what did he have coming? Oh, I've got match of the year match of the year is just like coming out left and right. They're just like coming out of my ear. And I was like, you know, if you're really trying to be this badass character, and I know because Matt Jackson, you know, good Christian boys, that's who they are. That's part of their gimmick, right? It's in the song, one of the songs, okay? You know, they're good guys. They're not going to swear. They don't do alcohol, as they say. You know, they are kind of clean-living guys, so when they try to be these, like, badass heels, sometimes in the promos it seems a little weird. And tonight where he's like, I got match of the year coming out of my ears, it's like, couldn't you just say, you know, I got match of the year coming out of my ass, or I got match of the year dripping out of my dick? You know, like, say something. You have people saying shit. You have people saying shit on your show, you know, swearing, saying all sorts of edgy stuff. You're trying to be the edgiest, and you're like, coming out of my ear, guys. You know, it just sounded a little corny. And if he's like, you know, I'm shooting out matches of the year left and right on people's faces, you know, I mean, that would be a little bit more like apropos. That would be a little bit more Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? That'd be a little bit more 95 Shawn, which I think who he's trying to get to. The problem is his real-life morals are more like 2021 Shawn, so he's not going to go full 95 Shawn on you. Nevertheless, you know, I think Kenny is more the main guy in this whole thing. I did like the Bucks promo. It was a little weird, though, because, you know, I say the Bucks promo, but only Matt Jackson talks. Have you noticed that? They don't let Nick talk. I mean, there's a reason, because it's not that good. He may say a line or two, but it's Matt that does the talking. And Matt says that they're a group of friends. They were a group of friends that threw up hand gestures, but now they're a family that hugs. Says they lost their hunger, and now it's time for a new version of the Bucks, and they cut up their old wrestling gear, and then they have their match, and they came out in different gear. Now, you're supposed to be this badass group, and you're also talking about, you know, family that hugs. So it's like, you know, the Young Bucks, they're just like, they're too sweet. They're too nice to kind of be these evil heels. But, you know, it works when they're with Kenny and the Good Brothers. It's almost like they're being co-opted into doing this terrible behavior. You know, they wouldn't do this if it were just them, but they have these friends that are bad influences, and they just kind of go along. That's what the Bucks are to me. Johnny, thoughts on the Bucks? New gear, new attitudes?
Well, I like the idea of cutting off the tassels. Like, yeah, if you're going to change it up, change the look a little bit. I appreciate that attempt on that, but like you said, in terms of the promo, it's pretty much the same thing. Matt's always the one talking. I like that they do it with Dawn now. That's probably the best thing for them, is to have Dawn do most of the talking, because they're not exactly the best promo when it's just Matt talking. So let Dawn pretty much do the talking for them. I think that's the best way. Dawn is probably, like, Don Callis is like one of the best heels they have, I think, in all of AEW. Like, they should push that as hard as possible, I think.
Yeah, he's really good. He's got loose morals. You know, he's willing to say whatever and do whatever. Don Callis is a slimy dog. You know? He's a slimy dog. But, you know, I like the new Bucks that came out tonight in their all-white gear with Don Callis in their corner. It's just the Bucks with Don Callis. They fully embrace the gimmick. They're with the team. They're with the family, the Good Brothers, Don Callis, Kenny Omega. They have a new entrance, too. They don't have the dollars coming out when they do their pose at the entrance. They have streamers coming in now when they do a pose in the ring. So a little bit of a different look for the Bucks. What really fascinated me more about the Bucks gear, I was actually kind of transfixed on their shoes more than the match that they had with Pac and Phoenix. Like, I know the match was good and all, but I'm a sneakerhead, and they were wearing Jordan 1 Dior Jordans, like the Dior Jordan 1s, which are very expensive. They're like $10,000 sneakers. And I'm not sure if they were fake. At one point, Nick kind of showed his off, and the crowd chanting, those are fake. Yeah. And, like, I hope they are. I really do. I hope that they're not wrestling in $10,000 sneakers. But the fact that they're trying to make us believe that they are, that's such a heel thing to do. Because for a sneakerhead, like, the fact that you would just see a guy wrestling, not just one guy, but both of the Bucks. They were both wearing them. As a guy who appreciates a good sneaker, I mean, you gotta take better care of those things. You can't be wrestling matches in $10,000 Jordan 1 Dior's. But hey, that's the life of a baller. Sometimes when you're an executive vice president of AEW, maybe you can afford it. Maybe those really are Dior 1s. I would be surprised. I doubt that they would wrestle in them if they had them, because they're $10,000 now, but they're gonna go up in value too. So it's like an art piece. You wouldn't want to wrestle in those. You want to buy a pair of Yeezys, whatever, wrestle in those. All right, I see Dominic Mysterio, even Ray, they've wrestled in Yeezys. Enzo's done it, but the Dior 1s, those are kind of. It'd be like wrestling in the Ben and Jerry dunks. I mean, you don't do that shit. It's unreasonable. It's ridiculous.
Johnny's just like, what's going on here?
Neither of you guys, I don't think either of you guys really understand what I'm talking about. Have you guys seen
I
the
understand
Ben
what
and
you're
Jerry?
talking about.
Do you know the Ben and Jerry dunks? Have you seen those?
No, I don't.
Those are crazy, bro.
No, I'm sure.
What do you think they're real? Do you think they're wearing? I mean, we'll talk about the match and whatever is a good match, but it's not my style of wrestling, so I didn't really whatever. But do you think they're real shoes? That's my focus. I don't really care about anything else on this show. Do you think they were real? As a sneaker expert, it was really hard to tell. They make really good fakes these days. I would just guess that they wouldn't be wrestling in $10,000 sneakers, but I mean, Ric Flair would, so why not? I mean, sometimes people, they spend a lot of money on their gear, right? I've heard of Ric Flair, talking about $10,000, $30,000 robes or whatever he used to wear. I could see the Bucks rolling in $10,000 Dior Jordans, but John, help me.
Watches all the time.
Yeah, well, that's it. Flair, he had money, and the Bucks have money, but I don't know. They've seen what happened to Flair. John, do you think they're real ones? Do you think they're real Jordan 1s, the Dior version?
I think it's very possible. I think they would actually spend that kind of money. I think they're actually that invested in their characters that they want to show off, so why not?
Because they're going to wear out, and then you won't be able to have them anymore, and they're super rare and very expensive. That's why not. Look at these things, John. Look at these things. StockX. $10,000 Canadian right now, okay? Which is probably less American, but still. Look at these bad boys. Crazy. Look at that shoe, John. You telling me they're wrestling in these? Good God Almighty. I hope that they're not. That's just crazy.
I can't see the difference between a normal sneaker, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, it's because you're not...
Well, like a normal, you know what I mean? Like a normal Nike shoe. What's the big difference? Other than that, they're limited.
I mean, those are Jordan... they're Jordan 1s, so they look a certain way. They have it's a certain style of shoe. The silhouette is the Jordan 1. And then the Dior is because there's Dior detailing. Just to give you an example, these are the Ben and Jerry dunks that go for nearly $2,000. Don't wrestle in those either. Don't wrestle in those, okay? Those are super rare. Anyways, as a sneakerhead, I was goddamn transfixed that they were possibly wearing those shoes in the ring. Just obsessed with that. So whatever, that's me. Young Bucks beat Pac and Rey Fenix by pinfall. And it gets heat to be wearing Dior 1s in the ring. I'm like, you bastards. Don't do that shit. It's ridiculous.
Went over.
So you know how valuable those shoes are? Oh, yeah. Well, that's it. For you guys, it's oh, yeah, whatever. They're wearing shoes, whatever. But when I saw them, I was like, what? Are they really doing that right now? That's crazy, these guys. That's good heat. That is good heat. Because for people that know, they're like, you bastards. You shouldn't be wearing those in the ring. You're going to scuff them and ruin them. Those things cost a fortune. Young Bucks beat Pac and Phoenix, super kicking everybody in those Dior 1s. Please tell me they're fake. Nick Jackson took Phoenix's mask off, and the Bucks hit a double super kick for the 1-2-3 on Rey Fenix, which I liked. I thought the finish was really good because, Nick Jackson ripping off Rey Fenix's mask. For an American wrestling fan, I don't know if you'd really get it if you're just watching American wrestling, but in New Japan, where the Young Bucks were so big, it's a rule over there where you can't take a guy's mask off. It's a disqualification if you do it. So it's a big no-no. You lose the match if you take your opponent's mask off. So here, doing it to Rey Fenix in their company, where it's not a rule, that it was a heat finish. It was a good heel tactic to do that. Also, taking a lucha guy's mask off is always an affront to them. It's always a big insult. So I like that Rey Fenix, he didn't really get beat, but because his mask was off, he had that disadvantage. Then he took the double super kicks for the 1-2-3. I like the finish. Lots of impressive acrobatics in the match, but there's something about these kinds of matches that just lack violence to me that I don't love. There's something that's not hard-hitting. They do a lot of impressive moves, but they don't all look like they hurt that much. Some of them look like they might hurt, but, Jericho's match with the Dax guy and especially Darby's match with Matt Hardy, like, they're doing impressive moves, but they look like they hurt. They seem like they have more impact. The Bucks, and especially when they wrestle guys like Phoenix and Pac, when they wrestle guys like FTR, it's a little bit tighter, it's a little bit more snug, but I feel like when they wrestle guys that do their style, that lucha style, it's so light, it's impressive. Like, Rey Fenix is amazing, he's got great footwork and balance, but he doesn't grab me as a wrestling fan, and I know I'm in the minority, but watching their match tonight, I was like, yeah, I get it, but it's just too cute to me. It's too pretty. It didn't have that violence. It didn't have that big story. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love the match. I liked the Bucks, but this was not my favorite Bucks match. I don't really like it when they wrestle Rey Fenix and Pentagon and stuff. When they're too lucha, I'm not really into it. John, what do you think about the Bucks match tonight?
Well, I saw someone just commented about the selling, and I think that was the main problem about it. Like, there was some great spectacular moves, but if you don't sell these moves, you don't tell a story with these moves, it's kind of hard to get invested in it because it's just going from one thing to the other. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks great, but if it's just, move after move and there's no meaning for these moves, it's hard to really care.
Yeah, Captain Jobber, which is a hell of a name. Captain Jobber says the moves are awesome, but the selling is so mild that nothing we see really matters. It lacks impact. It doesn't look like it hurts, and that's really what I'm saying. It just doesn't feel like it really hurts, and it's not my favorite kind of match. John, I'm a little bit surprised that you're agreeing with me on that, because usually you are a big fan of the Bucks and Phoenix and all that kind of stuff. I thought you would not be in favor of this match. I'm surprised. Glenn, what did you think of the opening match?
I liked it. I'm gonna be the guy who likes it. No, honestly,
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
No, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. Yeah.
No, but for me, the first, I'd say about 20 minutes, like 15, 20 minutes was a little like, fuck, like it wasn't that great, but the last 10 minutes, they really picked it up, and I thought the moves were really cool, and, that springboard Canadian Destroyer was really awesome, that move that Rey Fenix pulled off was really awesome. I think the finish was, innovative, you haven't seen that in a long time. I think someone commented about Rey Mysterio, they did that way back in the day where they pull off his mask. It was probably WCW, actually, I think. But
Jericho and Mysterio had a match with a similar finish, but it was
that what it was? Yeah.
Much,
but with
much
the double
better.
super kick was kind of cool, and
yeah,
I don't know, like I liked it. I'm not a big fan of Pac. I don't know why Pac is teamed up with the Death Triangle. I think they should have another lucha guy in there because I don't think of Pac as a lucha guy. You know what I mean? Like, put another lucha guy in there, and I just don't think he really fits. I think he's more of a singles guy. But yeah, no, I liked it. Honestly, match of the night, to me, it's kind of tied. But yeah, no, I liked it. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I think they were overdoing it a little bit with like, hey, we're bad. But they come out dressed in white with furry little shoulders, and Matt has tassels on his head like a belly dancer or Shakira or something. I couldn't get my eyes off that. You were focused on the shoes. I was focused on the stupid headband with the little fucking Shakira shit going down over here. Like, I thought he was gonna start like moving his hips or something, and like they were gonna. I don't know. I thought that was really freaking stupid, but at least his brother didn't do it. I think he cut him off. He was probably like, "No, fuck this shit. Like, this is too much," Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Overall, I liked the match. I liked it. It was a little long, but I liked it. I liked the finish. I liked everything.
Bucks retain the tag team titles in that match against Pac and Phoenix. It's just not my style of wrestling. I recognize that it's impressive and they do some things that are very athletic and it's stuff I could never even do or think of doing. It's really impressive lucha libre wrestling, but I'm more of a kind of a shoot style wrestling fan. I like a little bit more of the grounded attacks, kind of the submission grappling stuff. Daniel Bryan is kind of my peak of pro wrestler right now. I thought his match with Edge and Roman Reigns was just so damn good over the weekend. And that's really my style of wrestling. That's really what I look for in a wrestling match. High stakes, but not just that, but that type of wrestling style. The ground-based attack, some good storytelling, some violence, shit that looks like it hurts. That match to me was really a lot of what I like in pro wrestling. The Edge, Bryan, Roman match at WrestleMania, that's my style of wrestling. Match. Yeah, that's what I like. Daniel Bryan is my style of wrestler, and the Young Bucks don't have that much in them. I think they're really good for what they do. I just don't like them against Rey Fenix because I feel like it's too spotty and it's too flippy, and they just go from spot to spot without anything really in between, any real selling, and it's kind of like it's boring. I'm not like interested. I see the moves and I recognize that they're cool, but it's like when they're doing a double power bomb on the outside and the Bucks hit it at exactly the same time on those guys. Like, what are we watching? Are we watching a fight, or are we watching some sort of choreographed, sequence? It's more choreographed than most wrestling, and it doesn't really simulate combat in any kind of way, right? No fight would ever look remotely like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we are supposed to be kind of pretending that it's a fight. No, not like that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I won the New York Open with a flying triangle. I went airborne, babe.
All right.
Airborne in the finals.
But that's a triangle. I mean, that's a chokehold in the end. I mean,
Well, yeah, but my legs go up, wrap around the guy while he's standing, and then I lock it in and bring him down, and then I finished him in front of his kid.
Well, that's mean.
Pretty amazing.
Poor guy. How dare you do that to him?
It's on tape.
That's awesome.
New York Open, man.
That's pretty sweet.
43-year-old man. I went flying. Nobody expected that. Neither did I. I actually closed my eyes. I thought I was going to eat shit. I had learned it like a week before from Edwin Najmi, who's the king of flying triangles, and he did a seminar at my academy. So I'm like, I'm going for it. I closed my eyes and hit the mat, and I didn't break my neck, and everything was all right.
But,
nice.
You didn't do like a flippin' Hurricane Rana. And you know what? Your opponent sold the move when you were done, right? He sold it.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah. He was actually congratulating me after. He's like, I never expected that. It was so cool. I was like, yeah.
Well, if somebody hits a flying triangle on you and you tap, like, what are you going to do but congratulate the man? You know what I mean? You just got to give respect at that point. It's like, yeah, you got me. What am I going to do? That's crazy. When you pull off crazy shit, you just kind of have to say,
I'm surprised I don't see him in
game,
WWE or in wrestling yet. I don't know why nobody uses that as their finish. It's a hell of a move.
Because very few of them are talented enough to pull it off convincingly.
Oh, come on. I'm sure they can.
I mean, for it to make sense, like, it's close. Asuka does some flying armbars and stuff. Asuka can do it. Asuka's flying armbar is probably the nicest I've seen in pro wrestling. I don't know who else does a flying armbar in pro wrestling. I think maybe Bryan has tried it on occasion, but Asuka's is like quite smooth. She can, and Shinsuke too. Nakamura can do a flying armbar that's fucking nice too. But he's said like he's 2-0 in MMA. He's legit. You look at his ears and you know he's for real.
There's another girl who does it too quite often. I forget her name.
I don't know. Mike Tyson is pretty good at fighting. He was backstage. MJF shows up and he's like, I don't really know who you are, but my dad says you're a big deal, so kudos. MJF just laying some great lines on Mike Tyson, telling him that the Pinnacle guys are a little upset with him. And Mike's like, well, I'm upset with them too. And MJF trying to convince Mike Tyson that Jericho is his enemy because Mike Tyson is a special enforcer for Jericho versus Dax Harwood, and MJF is trying to get him on their side. And then MJF offers Tyson a blank check with his name on it and tells him to think about it. And then Mike rips up the check and eats it and then spits it out in front of him. I like the idea that MJF somehow has more money than Mike Tyson and can offer him some sort of riches beyond Mike's wildest dreams. Like, who do we think is richer here in this situation? It's weird that MJF, 23-year-old pro wrestler who's been in the business for maybe 5 years at the most, at the very most, is giving Mike Tyson a blank check, who's like a super rich and famous personality, celebrity, athlete, I guess. Do we still call him an athlete? I guess so. Ex-athlete. Former athlete. But, you know, he's made some money in his time. I mean, Don King took pretty much all of it, but he's still, you got to figure he's got more money than MJF. I just thought that was a funny concept. MJF going, here, Mike, have some money. Like, what? How deep are his pockets, really?
I would have put $1 billion.
He's not walking around. He's not walking around in Dior ones. He's not wrestling in those. How much do MJF's shoes cost? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Yeah, is MJF 23?
Well, first off,
is he 24
he's 25.
now? Is he 25 now? I thought he was still 24 or 23. Still, he's pretty damn young. Sorry.
He is, but I feel like it made sense, though.
He turned 25 March 15th, by the way, so it's recent. Go ahead, John.
But this whole thing about Tyson wanting money, it makes sense because, like, didn't he come back for all these fights because he wanted money? So, like, to me, that just made sense that MJF would try to buy him off because he just came back for the money, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
I mean, the money went to charity, no?
Yeah, because Mike made
he still got a retainer.
Money. He made money, like, doing other things, and apparently he's made, like, a ton of money off his weed business. Like, that's very profitable for him right now. And he's also made money doing that. I mean, he was in movies, right? Since the boxing career has ended, he did that Broadway show that got turned into a movie as well. Like,
he did a Broadway show?
Yeah, he had that, like, one-man show where he was talking. I'm sure you've seen it. You know, it's Mike Tyson telling stories. Spike Lee directed it. They did, like, a movie about it. They filmed it. I think they put it on HBO or something. I'm sure you've seen it. The Mike Tyson, it's a one-man show. He's just talking about his life. He talks about, you know, when his ex-wife was dating some new guy and he was going over there and the guy was there and the guy was scared to death and he ran away and it was Brad Pitt. I'm sure you heard that.
Is that the
you
one
haven't
where
heard
he's
that
talking
story?
about his pigeons? Like he's talking about his
probably,
pigeons at the end? Like,
probably.
I think that was his documentary that I've seen.
But it was like a documentary movie. I don't know. He's made money is the point. I'm sure more than MJF. So I just don't really.
I don't think he was ever broke or anything.
No,
like that.
And just because you go bankrupt when you're rich doesn't mean you're like poor. It's a different type of thing. Like Donald Trump has gone bankrupt several times, but that doesn't mean he's ever been poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
50 Cent went bankrupt, but that's just one of his businesses became, you know, insolvent or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good with business. I can't tell you the proper words.
Not good with business. Come on.
I mean, Glenn is the businessman here. Look at him. He's got a line of T-shirts that we're all wearing. Look at this.
It's unbelievable. Well, almost all. I gotta get Johnny one, and I'll get him the tight one. This is the tri cotton blend. Okay. Very soft. Very
tank tops are good.
Oh, I got tank tops. I got underwear. Whatever you need, Johnny, man. We'll hook you up, man. You're going to get a big care package. Lots of Glen W. Headbands, anything you need. What else? What does Johnny like to wear when he's out and about? What's his thing?
Tassels? Toques are good. I like toques.
Oh, I got tons of toques. The toques are awesome. Really soft.
Captain Jobber says Tyson's net worth is 3 times MJF's. Yeah, I agree. It's got to be at least 3 times MJF's. And I'm sure if you Google it, you could get that information as well on like networth.com or whatever that website is that AJ always swears is legit. Right? He's always coming up, oh, look, this guy's worth this much money. It says it on networth.com. I'm like, Do you see the ad for penis enlargement next to your information? That means it's probably bad information, AJ.
Yeah. I always get that ad. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
got
because
wrong cookies.
or maybe they know something is up.
I'm sure they do.
They're targeting you specifically. They're like, look, we've been receiving complaints about this guy. We are
Would you
going
like
to
a
help him
stunt
out.
dick, sir?
Yeah.
You need a little help?
The Tiny Penis forums are ablaze with Glenn talk, and we really need to help this man.
The Jiu-Jitsu Underground is on fire.
That's
with
right.
my small cock.
All they do is talk about, man, I was rolling with Glenn the other day, and it was like nothing was there. It was crazy.
I felt nothing. I felt he did a flying triangle.
Did a
and I had to
flying
tap out
triangle and like no
out of
nuts.
shame.
Yep. Out of shame because there was no penis there at all. Speaking of no penis, the Dark Order, who recently cut off one of their members' penises, Five,
What?
lost his penis, but then they put a new penis on him, and apparently it's huge. I didn't see it, but the Dark Order saw it on this week's
What?
episode of
What
BA
are
the
you talking
Elite, and they were all very impressed with Five.
It's more
Actually,
ridiculousness.
yeah, no, this happened legitimately on Being the Elite this week. A couple weeks ago, Five got his penis cut off, and it was a shrimp. A shrimp fell to the ground because they thought Johnny Hungy had injured his penis, so they were going to cut off Five's penis. No, Five's arm. Right,
You're
no.
losing Johnny.
Johnny Hungy. Okay, I'm going to tell you the story of what's been happening with Being the Elite and the Dark Order because
You're going to lose everybody now.
you need to know. No, people don't watch, so you need to know, okay? Johnny Hungy hurt his shoulder, so the Dark Order thought that his arm was broken and dead forever, and they needed to get him a new arm. So they were going to saw Five's arm off to give to Johnny Hungy. But then Johnny said, I don't want his arm. I don't need a new arm. My arm's going to be fine in 4 to 6 weeks. I want his penis. So they cut off his penis, and it was a shrimp. Okay? And then he comes back. He's got a new penis, and they've stuffed his pants with, I don't know, looks like a flashlight or something. And all of the Dark Order was very, very impressed. I think Hangman was there too. Very impressed with Five's new gigantic penis. And they were taking selfies next to the penis with their faces like right next to Five. It was a whole thing, and this is why you don't have to watch Being the Elite, because I tell you what happens, and it's mostly dick jokes. Mostly dick jokes. You like that, John?
It's mostly-
I'll never watch that show. Never.
He's
You're
not
watching
impressed.
Dark Elevation. How's that? Are you watching Dark Elevation? I gave up after like the first week.
I didn't get to watch it this week because, WrestleMania kind of tired me out from wrestling. So,
Yeah.
But next week I'll probably watch it.
I saw you're watching NWA Power this week. What are you watching that for?
I
You
did
love
watch
that
NWA
show.
Power, yeah.
You love NWA. Eh? That's like your favorite wrestling company, I think.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I just like that style of wrestling. It's old school.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got into it, but I know you like it. I see you tweeting about
They
it.
still around? They're not
Yeah.
still around.
Yeah, it's the Smashing Pumpkins
Yeah.
guy who runs it. Billy
Oh, really?
Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought he was doing. Wasn't he part of like TNA originally? Is that what he was, or Impact?
Yeah, but then he had he got kicked out basically of that company. Dixie Carter fucked him about. There was a lawsuit. There was shit going on, and then he was like, I'll just buy NWA. So now he owns the NWA.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Um,
When's that
so
on?
I don't know, John. When's it on? It's on YouTube. What? Wednesdays?
It's on Tuesdays. It's on Fight TV, actually. Tuesday, Fight TV, 6:05.
What's Fight TV?
Yeah, cool. Fight Network.
You have to actually pay for it to actually watch NWA.
Really?
Yep.
It's not on Fight Network. It's on like fight.tv, you're saying? It's not on YouTube? You have to pay to watch NWA.
Yep.
Jeez. Are you paying?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Bullshit. Really? To watch NWA?
Yeah, I am.
How much is it?
It's like $5-something a month.
To watch a weekly TV show about NWA wrestling? Like, is it worth it? So much free
So
wrestling.
far, it's all right.
Well, he likes it. I mean, if it's $5,
Wow.
it's not that.
I guess,
Well, that
but
big
it's
deal.
like, there's so much wrestling on. I'm not paying to watch any of it. I guess I pay to watch New Japan, but that's New Japan. I didn't know you had to. I thought NWA was free. I didn't know you had to pay. It used to be on YouTube, right? It was free on YouTube. Now you have to pay. Good God
Not
almighty.
everything's free anymore.
Yeah, well, that's right. Don't forget to become a member of the channel. Don't forget to hit us up on Super Chat. Nothing is free, as Johnny North says. hit us up on Super Chat and become a member of the channel. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net to get some cool merch. And if you're not going to do any of that, I mean, the least you could do is like this video. How hard is it to like a video? Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Captain Jobber says, I have to watch AEW on Fight TV because TNT won't air AEW in my country. What country are you in, Captain Jobber? We are in Canada, and we watch AEW on the TSN channel. I know in the States they watch it on TNT, and you have to watch it on Fight TV. What country are you in where they don't have a TV deal? Is that in the UK? Do they have a TV deal in the UK? They must, right? I wonder where people are watching AEW. I guess. I don't know. Where are people watching AEW with no TV deal? Come on, AEW. Get your TV on for free everywhere. Captain Jobber needs to see it. Okay? Captain Jobber needs to see AEW. Help out Captain Jobber.
You should start a GoFundMe for Captain Jobber.
Captain Jobber's all right. Dark Order and Hangman Page are backstage, and they're talking about Marvez is there to interview Hangman, and he asks him about the Bucks and Kenny and that whole alliance. And then Hangman's like, yeah, Johnny's shoulder, he's going to be good in 4 to 6 weeks. He's going to eat egg rolls. I'm going to go get some egg rolls. See you guys later. And Marvez is like, oh, I didn't ask you about egg rolls or Johnny's shoulder. I was asking you about Kenny. So obviously Hangman is avoiding all questions about his former buddies in the Elite. So there's something there. And then Johnny Hungy was lifting up his arm because he's got, shoulder problems. And the Dark Order was cheering him on. There you go, Doug Hepburn, with the super chat. He says, Johnny, next month's NWA is on me. Cheers. Boom, Doug Hepburn.
What a nice guy.
Good man. Thank you,
Super
Doug.
Nice guy.
Paying for Johnny's NWA, baby.
Heavy D, man. Heavy D. Coming through.
So Johnny lifted up his arm, Johnny Hungy, and the Dark Order was cheering him on, and then Evil Uno kissed him. I loved it. I like that Johnny Hungy's hurt, but he's still on TV all the time. Honestly, I loved it. I loved everything about this short little segment where Hangman was avoiding the questions, continuing the story with Hangman and his former tag team partner, Kenny. And then we saw a little comedy with the Dark Order and Johnny Hungy. I was happy with that segment. Johnny, I know you loved it. Seeing Johnny Hungy lift up his arm, inspiring. The man's trying to rehab an injury.
I was very happy once that segment was over. I'm like, yes, I don't have to see this anymore. Do less of that, and I'll be very happy.
Oh, South America, Captain Jobber is from. He watches with a lot of folks from UK and Scotland. What country specifically in South America? I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but...
Brazil.
Yeah. I mean, is it a Spanish-speaking country? Is it a Portuguese-speaking country? Either way, welcome to the show, Captain Jobber, all the way in South America. Shout out to you. Hopefully AEW gets a free TV deal in your country. Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle, backstage with Mike Tyson. They're interviewed. Jericho says they were attacked by the Pineapple, or the Pinnacle. Called them the Pineapple. I thought that was good. Jericho says, when they got attacked by the Pineapple, they realized that they were bad guys, and they decided to apologize to people, and he apologized to Mike Tyson, and now they're friends. And Jericho says he wants Tyson to call the match down the middle, and Tyson says he's going to let the best man win. He doesn't want to knock Jericho out, but if he does, he will. And then we have the match of the night, baby. Here's the match of the night. I know you guys are going to disagree, and I might even disagree with myself when I come to my senses, but obviously Jade Cargill and Red Velvet is match of the night, right? Phenomenal. The fall-away slam into the front row. Fantastic. I mean, I don't actually think it was the match of the night. I think probably Matt Hardy and Darby Allin. That was pretty awesome. I liked that a lot. But I liked Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. I thought it was a solid match. For Jade Cargill's, second match on TV, third match, it's pretty good. She looks amazing. Cargill won. They didn't botch anything too badly. She seems less awkward than Luchasaurus in there. And he's been wrestling for years. He was even in WWE developmental. She hasn't had any of that experience. You got to give it to Jade Cargill. She looked great tonight. Johnny, what did you think of Cargill?
Well, the fun part about her is that every time she comes out, I'm definitely interested to see what happens. And for her second match, this might be her third match, I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like maybe she did something else on like Dark or Elevation match. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly. But regardless, like for her like second big Dynamite match, you know, she has a lot of interest. She has a lot of people watching her and seeing everything that she does. And it feels like every little thing that she does is like a big deal. So I kind of like that about her. And the fact that, you know, just bumping her is like a big deal. So that's kind of cool that they make her into that she's a big deal. And for being a rookie as well, like she could become like Rookie of the Year, I think, at least for AEW. So like not the best match of the night in my opinion, but I'm definitely intrigued by what happens with her because she has that like star appeal and everything that she does, it's like I want to know what's going to happen next.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Rookie of the Year in AEW, John.
Well,
Yes.
You're going too far though.
You're
going
on
too
my
far,
team.
Yeah,
Team Cargill.
I'm not completely there. I'm saying there's potential there. It was not match of the night whatsoever.
Muscles. Muscles, hair, Cargill, money.
I'm saying potential.
It wasn't match of the night, but there's obvious potential there. You see her, she's a star. She's not bad in the ring. She's a lot better than she looks like she would be. You know, like usually you see somebody who's kind of tall, kind of muscly, and you're like, can they wrestle? But she's an athlete. She's got good footwork in there. She's not bad. She's green, but she's gonna get better.
Footwork?
She moves well.
Steps like all the time. Stutter.
I mean, I've seen a lot of tall people in wrestling like her with skinny legs, like trip over themselves.
You're blinded. You're blinded by the light.
I'm telling you, she is not as bad.
There's a lot of light.
Yeah, there's a lot of light, baby. There's a lot of light. And it's shining all over Jade Cargill because she is a star. Also a star is Angelo, my main man. He says the month after that is on me. Johnny North, the team is paying for the next 2 months of your NWA on Super Chat. So thank you to Douglas and thank you to Angelo for hooking Johnny up with some free NWA for the next couple of months. And thank you to Patrick C. Hamilton, who says, welcome, Jobber. Hope you come back on Friday, too. Patrick, super chatting us and bringing in some new people. And, yes, Captain Jobber out in Colombia. Bienvenido, amigo. Bienvenido, Good. Captain Jobber. Been listening to us for a while. Well, thank you, Captain. We appreciate you. And, yeah. Gracias for joining us. Jade Cargill over Red Velvet. I loved it. I love Jade Cargill so much. It wasn't match of the night. I was being facetious, but I do think that Jade is fantastic, and she has great potential to be a big star in pro wrestling. I love it. I mean, compare her to Anthony Ogogo, the governor. I mean, you want to talk about a generic nickname for a British wrestler. Hey, governor! Like, that's the most stereotypical American thing that they say to British people. Hello, governor! A spot of tea? You know, like, it's so offensive, I think, to British people, maybe. I guess not, because Anthony Ogogo is the governor, Anthony Ogogo. And it doesn't mean that he runs a state. It's like a British thing, isn't it? Governor? What is that? The governor, Anthony Ogogo. And again, like, look at Anthony Ogogo and look at Jade Cargill and tell me Jade Cargill isn't a bigger star already and doesn't have way more potential. Two people that are pretty new. They both look good, but compare their matches tonight. Honestly. Anthony Ogogo beating Cole Carter with a punch to the gut. The Factory, formerly the Nightmare Factory, in his corner. Like, what do you think?
It sold better for her, though. I mean,
yeah, I guess so, but like, come on.
She's like, you can tell she's developing. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't even know if she, like, they're pushing her to be on TV. They should let her, like, almost like let her come up a little bit. You know, put her in, like, I don't know, let her train for a year or something like that, and then give her a few matches here and there. But like, I don't think it's that smoother spots, and she's stutter stepping all over the place. I don't know. Like, I'm the only one who sees this. I don't
John,
think
what
she's
do you
bad.
think?
I think she's gonna
You're
be
not
great.
wrong.
But
No, I mean,
Yeah.
she's not perfect. I mean, she's a little awkward, but for her amount of time in wrestling and for how good she looks, like, you know, you could forgive some of the awkwardness in the ring because she looks like a superstar and a monster. Like, she's intimidating, she's big, she's strong. You look at their women's division and you're like, damn, who's going to stop her? She's big, strong. She's got
I'm just glad she's
something.
not popping the double bicep all the time now. She was doing that way too much. Now she only did it about 3 times, and now she's
Yeah.
doing like a lat pose. She should be more like Charlotte Flair. You know, you walk around with that air of just, you know, arrogance and size, and you know what I mean? And I'm the best. You know, you don't have to fucking flex every 2 seconds. Like, hey, I got muscles.
There's only one queen. There's only one Charlotte Flair. I mean,
No, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know who told her
she
to
doesn't
flex
have
all the
that.
time, but she's really overdoing it.
Charlotte has that in her. Charlotte is a different. She's a different type of star. She's got everything.
She knows she's big. She knows she looks like she's jacked, and she looks like that. Just be jacked. You don't have to flex every 2 seconds to remind everybody that you're jacked.
Yeah,
It's overkill.
no, I don't
That's just my
disagree.
opinion, because to me it looks cheesy.
But sometimes, you know, a good flex doesn't hurt. Just to remind you.
Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Mr. like constantly flexing over there. He loves it. Captain Jobber.
Just fixing my hair.
Thank you, Captain Jobber, dropping a super chat as well. I love it.
What a guy. Captain Jobber.
In Colombian currency, which I like. That's fun. Colombiano. Speaking of Colombians, John, I'm going to tell you something I don't know if you know or care, but do you remember Paula from the early seasons of 90 Day Fiancé?
I do.
You remember her?
No.
She is wrestling now.
Okay.
I mean, you don't remember her, so I guess it doesn't matter to you. But
I
this
remember.
was
I watch every episode of 90 Day Fiancé.
There you go.
I love that shit.
Look.
I love that shit.
This is from her Instagram. There's Paula from 90 Day Fiancé, Colombian, and she's now wrestling. So good for her. Look, she looks like a wrestler here. I mean, I don't know if she can wrestle, but there she is on a wrestling poster. So I know,
Amazing.
John. I know you guys like 90 Day Fiancé, as do I. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I remember in the early days, Paula and Russ were a big couple on the show, and I just saw that she's wrestling now. She is a indie wrestler, which makes sense. 90 Day Fiancé. What do you do next? Wrestle, right?
Well, didn't she want to be a model?
Yeah, I mean, she wanted to be a model, and you know, when those things don't work out, wrestle. I mean. You know, here she is.
She lives
wrestling.
in Vegas too, right?
This is her. I think she lives in Florida. This is her doing moves, training to wrestle. This is her from her Instagram. Yeah, it's not bad. She's got a look. I mean, AEW might think about her. Look at her move. She's actually not bad. She's almost as good as Jade Cargill. She looks good. She's got a little bit of fame from 90 Day Fiancé. And look at her move. She's actually not terrible. I mean, she's not
great looking too.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, a little lake.
Pretty girl. 90 Day Fiancé. This is kind of sped up though, right?
So doesn't have the size though.
Sure, that's
Jade though.
No, it doesn't have the size of Jade, but like, you know, that was a little awkward. But hey, I'm just saying, good for Paula from 90 Day Fiancé. I just saw our man Captain Jobber out in Colombia, and it reminded me of a famous Colombian who is now a wrestler.
That's cool. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so good for her. Anyways, back to AEW. Anthony Ogogo, the governor. John, what did you think of the governor's debut?
It was kind of really uneventful. He didn't really do much. The match kind of ended really quick. I don't like the idea of a closed fist like ends a match. Like, to me, that's a disqualification. But It's AEW, so they don't really care about that kind of stuff.
No, I didn't like it too much either. Here's what I did like. Miro's promo. He cut a backstage promo. He's like, I can't find Kip since we had that arcade match. Where are you, Kip? Well, if I can't find you, I'm going to move on without you to fulfill my destiny of becoming a champion. First of all, what do you mean you can't find Kip? Kip disappeared after the match? What? Second of all, good. Get rid of Kip and become a single star because you are money, you are big, you are intimidating. Let's go, Miro. Let's do some shit. And he says, anybody with a title, you better disappear too because I'm coming for you. Great. Good stuff. I'm happy Miro seems to be getting rid of Kip. Maybe you'll have a match with Kip to really get rid of him. But this is the end of Miro and Kip, right? Kip has been holding him back. Are we done with Miro and Kip now?
I hope so.
Right? It's got to be over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were talking about that like last week or so, 2 weeks ago. They got to split up. Stupid.
And tonight, I think they figured it out. Then we have Chris Jericho versus Dax Harwood via pinfall. Jericho beats him after the Judas effect and a little distraction from Sammy Guevara. Mike Tyson was the special enforcer for this match, and I'm not sure why because he did nothing. Cash Wheeler was ringside for Dax Harwood, and Sammy Guevara was ringside for Chris Jericho. Sorry, John, you trying to get in there? What are you saying?
Well, just they had Tyson for the end part because there was everyone coming in at the end, and Tyson was the difference in the end. So that's why.
But during the match, he didn't do much, right? Like, Cash and Sammy looked like they were going to get into it. They were yelling at each other. Tyson did nothing. Dax hit Jericho with an illegal weapon, a microphone. Tyson did nothing. Jericho hit Dax back with a pen in the head. Tyson did nothing. Cash at one point, to save his partner Dax from losing the match, looked like he was about to dive into the ring. Mike Tyson pointed at him from across the ring. Hey, don't do that. What? What? You're supposed to be the enforcer. You don't even get in the guy's face who's about to interfere in the match. You just kind of point, like wave your finger like an angry old man trying to get a kid off your lawn. Like, what is going on?
He's Mike Tyson.
I mean, all he needs is a point. I mean, I guess all he needs is a point. People should be scared, you know? I mean, if Mike Tyson points at me angrily, I'm probably going to back off doing whatever I was just doing that made Mike Tyson angry, right? But he's supposed to be the enforcer here, and he just didn't do very much. At one point, Cash hit Jericho. He interfered in the match. He hit Jericho with the referee's back turned. And Tyson didn't do anything to Cash. He just cheered Sammy Guevara on as Sammy attacked Cash. Eventually, the Inner Circle and Pinnacle, they come out from backstage. They start brawling with each other. Cash goes for the baseball bat in the melee in the confusion while the ref is looking at the brawl on the stage. And that's when Mike Tyson gets involved. Finally, he does something. He punches Cash in the face, which I imagine kind of sucks for Cash. It might hurt. And then Sammy distracted Dax, which allowed Jericho to back body drop out of a pile driver or whatever Dax was setting up and then hit the Judas effect for the 1, 2, 3. So a melee, Mike Tyson involved, and Jericho wins, but with a distraction from Sammy Guevara. Like, he's supposed to be the babyface, but he did not win in a babyface fashion tonight. I thought the match was okay, though. I liked Jericho and Dax. I thought they did good work. It was hard-hitting. I liked when they went ringside, when they were hitting each other, into the barricade and stuff, into the chairs, throwing the chairs around ringside. I liked that stuff. I thought the match was solid. I liked it better than the Bucks match against Phoenix and Pac, to be honest. That's more my style. The Jericho-Dax match, a little bit more my style of pro wrestling. I liked it. But Mike Tyson, I wish he would have just been more, or maybe not more involved, but used a little better. Like, don't expose him as a do-nothing enforcer up until the end of the match. Because there was a lot of stuff going on that the referee didn't see that Mike should have probably done something about as the enforcer, but he just kind of stood there. So that was, not great, but they had a good spot for the finish with Mike Tyson punching one of the Revival guys and then Jericho getting the win. The finish was a little off, though, because Jericho did kind of get the distraction from Sammy to help him out of danger and then hit the Judas effect. Johnny, what'd you think of the match and the finish?
Well, I thought this was the best match on the show that we saw. That was a really good, hard-hitting match.
Yep.
Like, the only thing, like, yeah, I would have preferred if they didn't have the distraction finish, but for whatever reason they did that, I guess because they felt this was Pinnacle's first loss, and I guess they had to make it seem like, well, it's only because of the distraction that happened, and because Tyson pretty much favored them in the end as well, so it seemed like they kind of got screwed. But that's fine. I think it's better to limit Tyson as well, because it made the ending mean more, because that shot at the end meant something, because it was the first time you really saw him do anything.
Glenn, what did you think of the match?
It was all right. I love Jericho, but I don't know, Tyson. You can only do so much with Tyson too, right? He's
yeah.
I don't know. I've listened to a lot of his. I haven't seen that Broadway show, but I've listened to a lot of his podcasts and almost everything he's been on. And he's not the, he's been through a lot, man. He was never really the sharpest guy, I don't think. And he was he does a lot of drugs. I mean, so I think you can only give him so much to do, right? So like he was walking around the ring. I'm sure they told him to do other things, and he didn't really pull it off, because I saw at one point Sammy Guevara ran in to jump on. I always forget the guy's name. Dax's teammate,
Cash,
because he was trying to
Cash.
So he jumped
Just
on Cash.
think Axe and Smash, because they're Dax and
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Dax and Cash or
Dax and
Axe and
Cash.
Smash. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. So he ran over, because I think Tyson might have supposed to have been involved there, and maybe he was taking too long. So Sammy ran in and jumped in, and then Tyson's just kind of standing there like, all right, I warned you guys. I thought he was going to KO both of them at that point or something, or because it looked like he was supposed to do something, or Tyson couldn't remember if he was supposed to do something, and then nothing happened. And then they, obviously, I'm sure he was supposed to be involved at that point, because he made his way over there. Because he was originally standing on the hard camera side, and that was way off on the other side, to the far left of the stage. So why would he mosey on over there?
Yeah,
because he stayed on the hard camera side the whole time. And anyways, I'm sure he screwed that up. I'm sure there was supposed to be something there.
He seemed a little out of place in certain instances.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the punch on Cash? You think he held it back? I don't think he cracked him that hard, but I
don't know, man.
Can he pull his punches?
It connected.
It
I don't
connected.
think he can.
It connected, but he's got to be told, keep your knuckles loose. You know what I mean? There's a way to hit a guy.
I think he hit him with a bit of a forearm more than anything. He wasn't throwing a fist. He kind of but he clipped him pretty hard.
There was sound. Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson throwing anything at you is probably you're gonna feel it. But I thought the match was really good. I liked it. Despite all the wonkiness going on outside the ring, I thought Jericho and Dax did a really good job. I thought it was a really solid one-on-one match. I liked it. John, that's your match of the night?
Yeah, it would have been the main event, but there was too much shenanigans in that one. This had a bit of shenanigans, but the main event went too far with the shenanigans.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in the main event. We'll get to that main event in a bit here. Mike Tyson took his shirt off for some reason after the match. I don't know why. And then Jericho made him an ancillary member of the Inner Circle, which, what does that even mean? Anyways, shout out to Captain Jobber.
He's there.
Captain Jobber, a new viewer here on the YouTube channel, dropping the super chat, or at least a new chatter on the YouTube channel. I think he's been watching or listening for a while, but we appreciate you dropping the super chat there, Captain Jobber, out in Colombia, Patrick C. Hamilton, Angelo as well, and Doug Hepburn. Doug and Angelo are actually the super chat leaders of the night. Angelo, again, is the super chat leader.
Doesn't mess around, Angelo.
With Doug. No, Angelo is serious. Angelo is real business. Angelo was talking to me the other day about, the Conor McGregor fight, and he was worried because Conor was saying that the fight's off, but the UFC just put tickets on sale, and they're promoting it, and the fight is definitely on. So don't worry, Angelo. I know we were talking on Twitter the other day, and you were worried that Conor and Dustin won't fight, but they put tickets on sale for that thing. Not only are they going to fight, they're going to fight in front of a packed arena in Las Vegas, which is interesting because they're packing arenas now in Florida and Vegas. I did see somebody went to WrestleMania and then came back home and tested positive for COVID, but I don't know if it was. I don't know. Oh, a fan, like a wrestling fan, apparently went to Mania and went to a few shows Mania week in Florida, and then came home and tested positive for COVID. To which I say, no shit. I mean, that's gonna happen. I don't think everybody's gonna test positive for COVID that went to WrestleMania, but like, you know, you're around 25,000 people. It's a pandemic. Chances are there's going to be a couple of people that are going to test positive for COVID, right? I mean, that's just the odds these days, you know, big group of people. Not everybody's going to die, but, you know, chances are maybe somebody will get sick. Maybe somebody will die. Who knows? You know, it's a weird time.
Tune in next week.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of this. The world seems like a bizarre place right now. Half the people I know are vaccinated. The other half don't understand anything. And then there's other people saying, you know, we got to stay indoors all the time. And there's an 8 p.m. curfew where we live. Yet in Florida and in Las Vegas, they're packing in arenas full of people. And they say that the cases are worse than ever over there. Like, I don't really understand what the hell's going on these days. This is the weirdest time of the pandemic. It's been a really weird time this whole time, but now it's kind of like in a limbo where we kind of feel like it's nearly done, but also maybe it's getting worse. It's very strange. It's a very strange time, yet they're packing arenas. People are going to Mania. More people than ever were at the Dynamite taping. UFC's going into full arenas coming up like next week. So, you know, it's just a weird time right now in this pandemic especially. Very, very strange.
Well, they're more vaccinated out there in the United States, right?
That's true.
I think.
That's true.
I think like 33% of them are like almost all vaccinated, and we're like at 13 or something. Something ridiculous, but like they've rolled out like way faster than we have.
Triple H has both his shots. Triple H has the 2 doses.
Yeah.
And he's like in his early 50s. You know, I mean, my son's grandparents, I mean, half of them are in their 70s and the other half are in their 60s, and they've only got 1 shot. They're going to get their second dose in like July or whatever, but it's like, how are people, you know, but a different country, right? Different place, so different rules.
Our doses. Are you going to take the shots? I'm taking it.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you get it, I think you're good, right? So if you get your 2 doses, you're good, and then it's like, hey, we can move on from all this stuff and go back to living life as normal. I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel now, I think, with the vaccine, but
for sure. Yeah.
It's still a little ways away, you know, and I'm getting impatient. I think a lot of people are a little impatient here, especially where we live, right? In the province of Quebec, things are super, super weird where we live here. Weirder than most places, I think. Kenny Omega and the Bucks and the Good Brothers are interviewed in the parking lot. I really like this promo. Don Callis says when the Bucks came back to the family fold, it wasn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning. Kenny Omega says he's sick of the non-sport numbnuts fans that want them to be just like them. They're not just like them. I like that. I like that stuff. Kenny's like, look, a lot of you fans like want me to be relatable, but I don't relate to you people. And I think a lot of pro wrestlers feel that way. Matt Jackson does his best Shawn Michaels impression there, talking about the AEW Tag Team Division. And then Don Callis says, be prepared to be surprised again. And then the Bucks look like they're going to super kick the camera, but Don does it instead, doing the Bucks gimmick, and everything is good between the Bucks and Don. One big, happy family. I like the promo. I thought Matt Jackson's bit was a little weird, but Kenny and Don were very, very good. Don is great. It's like the Paul Heyman of AEW, you know? That type of
you think they're bringing in?
Manager character. Yeah, I don't know if they're bringing somebody in. I just think that Don Callis is a hell of a promo. He did say, you know, be prepared to be surprised. John, do you think they bring somebody in? You think they're going to bring somebody in? Glenn thinks so. I don't know. I didn't read that. I just read like, they're going to keep doing crazy stuff, and maybe some New Japan guys will come around, or they'll invade Impact, right? Because doesn't Kenny have the match with what's his face for the belt next week?
I want to say it might be, yeah, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday.
Yeah, it's the 24th. Impact Rebellion is the 24th of April. So it's not this Saturday, it's next Saturday. Kenny has a match. It's both belts on the line, right? Who's the Impact champion? Is it Rich Swann still?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Rich Swann versus Kenny, Impact title versus AEW title, and that's going down a week from Saturday at Impact Wrestling Rebellion. I mean, that's something could happen there where the Bucks show up. Like, I kind of took it there. I didn't really see it as, oh, they're going to bring somebody in. But
I think they're going to bring somebody in. Is there any Bullet Club guys whose contracts are up? I know there's a lot of them. There was a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know who's floating around whose contracts might be up. Could be anybody.
Anybody?
I think they're
John?
bringing somebody in.
What do you think?
It's not possible they bring in somebody.
Can you bring in Marty Scurll? Or is there too much heat on him? Has he been banished from pro wrestling? I'm not exactly sure the details of what he did, but he was definitely caught up in some sexual improprieties, and he's basically, like, he was, like, in a big position of power in Ring of Honor, and that's been taken away from him. I don't even think he wrestles in Ring of Honor anymore, but he was, like, part of their crew for a while. I wonder if they'll ever bring him back. Has he been blackballed from wrestling, Marty Scurll? Probably, right? Probably should have been. If he's not, I'm just grasping. I'm trying to come up with some names here that would make sense. What's Flip Gordon doing?
Finn Balor. What's Finn Balor doing?
Nah, he's busy. He's still the champion, right? In NXT? I didn't see that thing with. Did he lose a belt to Karrion Kross?
I haven't been able to watch TakeOver yet, but I believe he did lose, though.
Oh, he lost a belt to him?
Pretty sure.
Oh, I didn't know.
Could you imagine it's Finn Balor?
I mean, I doubt it.
Yes.
I doubt it.
But you never know.
I think he's in WWE. I really doubt it.
He'd be good in AEW, though. I'd like Finn Balor there. I think he's kind of stagnant in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Finn, Sami Zayn. Who knows? I mean, there are a lot of guys potentially that would be great, but, it all depends on their contracts. And I will tell you that Karrion Kross did beat Finn Balor. So he is the new NXT champion. That happened at Stand and Deliver TakeOver, which I did not watch either.
Yeah, I missed it also. I watched NXT this week, though. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I watched some of NXT this week. I did see a bit of Stand and Deliver because I feel like I saw Walter and Ciampa. I think that's the only thing I saw. And I saw a bit of Raquel Gonzalez and Io Shirai. I saw a bit of the first night because that was on Wednesday, but then by Thursday I was like, fuck this. I'm not watching night 2. I got WrestleMania to deal with. I'm not watching night 2. And Thursday night we're doing Ringside Report MMA, so I'm not watching NXT. But NXT now on Tuesday nights I think is really smart because Wednesday nights I wasn't watching NXT. I was watching AEW. But now, nothing's going on Tuesday nights. I found myself watching NXT. I was like, what's on TV? Oh, NXT. All right, I'll watch this. There's no competing wrestling show. I think they're going to get way more attention from me now that they're on Tuesday nights. Monday nights I watch Raw. Tuesday nights I might flip through NXT. Wednesday nights it's AEW. And I wasn't flipping to NXT on Wednesdays, even when I could. So I think it's good that they're on Tuesday nights. Chris Statlander beat Amber Nova with her Supernova package piledriver. Isn't it weird that Chris Statlander's finishing move has Nova in the name and she was wrestling Amber Nova? I mean, that was odd, I guess. I like Chris Statlander, though. I thought she was good here. She looked really good. I was very happy with her performance. Great women's action tonight. Seeing Jade Cargill looking so good, seeing Chris Statlander looking so good, gives me some real hope for the future of the women's division. Thunder Rosa cut a good backstage promo talking about taking back the NWA title from Serena Deeb. Good women's action. Britt Baker cut a backstage promo. Like, the women's division was A-level tonight. You know, it was the top level of the women's division. I was happy with everybody's performance.
Statlander could make a run for the champ.
Yes.
Honestly, I think she should be in that number 1 spot.
Yes.
Yeah,
For sure.
far.
For sure.
It's a little early though.
Well, until she got injured, I mean, they were giving her a bit of a push, you know what I mean? So, like, I would just put her right in there. I mean, she can do it.
Yeah.
She can carry that women's division for a little while, you know, like that. I always forget the girl's name who's champ right now. I mean, but she never wrestles.
Shida.
But Shida, yes, thank you. But, like, you know, and the Brazilian one that's fighting, I don't know. I don't really believe in that either. I'd say just put her in there. You know, if they're not going to do Britt Baker, which they're obviously not doing.
We're getting that match next week.
Yeah, no, we're going to do Britt Baker eventually. That's what's happening. We're working towards it. That's what we're doing. Yeah. We're marching toward Britt Baker winning the championship. This is what Britt Baker's promos are about. Britt Baker is cutting promos week after week, talking about winning matches, climbing the rankings to get to Shida to take the title, telling us we're all going to get what we want, which is Britt Baker as the AEW champion. This is what we're working towards. We're working towards Britt Baker becoming the AEW Women's World Champion. That's what her promos are about.
Beat Statlander, though. You know what I mean?
Nah, because
so I guess they might do the reverse. It's going to be Statlander chasing Britt Baker.
Yeah, wait for Statlander. She can build up. She just came back. It's been a long time for Statlander. Wait, it's Britt's time. Give it to Britt. Like, I don't think you give it to Statlander just to give it to Britt now, especially for Statlander's first run. You want it to mean a little bit more than just a transitional champion for 2 or 3 weeks. Shida's been the champion for a long time. Britt should be the one to take it from her. Britt is going to continue to win matches. She will get to the title shot. And Ty Conti, who will wrestle Shida for the title next week, will not become the AEW Women's Champion. I think the match will be fine next week, but Shida will definitely win. 100%. Team Taz. I mean, do you guys disagree at all about that? There's no way Conti wins next week, right?
I hope she wins.
I don't know. They've been giving her a good push.
No way.
I think she's fantastic. I think she should be champ. Yeah.
Over Britt?
Yeah.
Boo.
Better
That's
wrestler.
probably what's going to happen.
Better wrestler?
Britt's going to take it from her.
Better wrestler. I don't know how many match of the year. How many match of the year candidates has Ty Conti had this year?
Well, congratulations! You can have a good backyard wrestling match.
0, buddy, 0. Britt and Thunder tore the fucking house down. Are you kidding me? Britt and Thunder main evented and kicked ass. What's Ty Conti done? You really? I mean, what kind of promos can she cut? You care about Ty Conti? I don't give a shit about Ty Conti. Oh, I'm from Brazil and I'm nice and Dark Order is my friends. There's no fucking character there. There's no charisma. Get the fuck out of here, Ty Conti. I mean, she's all right.
I think Ty Conti
she's
wins.
no Britt Baker. Britt Baker's
wins.
got charisma. She can talk. Britt Baker's the best character they have next to Jade Cargill.
I think Ty Conti's going to win, and then Britt Baker's going to take it from Ty Conti.
I'd like to see that. I hope it
That's what I see, yeah.
No hot potato. Shida should be dropping it to Baker. Baker should be the one to take it from Shida, not Ty Conti. Ty Conti's a middle-of-the-pack wrestler. She is not a top-level champion in AEW. Not yet. She has no character. She has no charisma. Who is she?
She's not bad. I don't think she's great, but
well, what is she?
Bad.
What's her character? She's from Brazil. What's her character?
She's a judo black belt, Brazilian jiu-jitsu blue belt, hangs with your Dark Order homies. Yeah, I thought you'd like her a lot more.
That's not a character.
And Dave's unpressed. He's only a blue belt.
No, I don't care about that. I'm saying it's not a character. So she's got a judo black belt. She's got a jiu-jitsu blue belt. She's kind of friends with the Dark Order because she was friends with Anna Jay. Look at her. She's
Yeah,
that
I know.
bitch. She's that
Look at
bitch.
Ty Conti. I mean,
She's friends
Ty
with
Conti
Shaq.
looks pretty good too.
Ty Conti
He's
looks
not an
good,
ass man. That's his
but
problem.
she doesn't look impressive.
Johnny and I are ass men.
No, listen.
You can look at Johnny and I, and you can see
I
we're
don't
ass men.
care
You're not an ass man.
about how pretty you
You're
think they fucking
ad
are.
man.
I don't give a shit about pretty. I give a fuck about intimidating. Jade Cargill's intimidating. Ty Conti's pretty. Fine, I'll give it to you. She's pretty. I don't give a shit about pretty. Randy Orton's pretty. He's fucking boring. I don't give a fuck about pretty. I want to see somebody who's scary looking, who's intimidating, who's physically imposing, who can do some shit that nobody else can do. Jade Cargill could do some shit that very few other women on their roster could do. I haven't seen Ty Conti do anything that Thunder Rosa can't
nice
do.
arm drag. She's got a nice arm drag.
Is she competing against Thunder Rosa now? Like, I don't think she's wrestling her.
Yeah, she's competing against the best of the division if she wants to be the world champion. I mean, I don't know what you guys are seeing. She's okay. She's fine. She's serviceable. But the next champion to beat Shida, who's been champion for like a year? No. No way.
I love Patrick's comment without the AJ insanity.
Patrick says, I love this
AJ
debate and without the AJ insanity. Thank you, Patrick, for the super chat. Patrick now, the super chat. Hold on, John. Patrick is the super chat leader of the night right now. Go ahead, John.
It's because AJ would throw out some facts, and then you look it up, and it's like these aren't actual facts.
Yeah, fake
That's
facts.
The thing.
The problem is...
Well, that's AJ. That's what he's known for.
Well, yeah, but the good thing about MMA discussions, the great thing about UFC arguments is that you can be proven right a lot easier because there are real facts and there are real winners and real losers. AJ can tell me all day that this guy's going to win and this guy's going to win, but then on Saturday night we find out. Does this guy win or does this guy lose? In wrestling, you can fucking argue with people all day, but it's subjective, man. It's an art form. Ty Conti, you guys like her better than Jade Cargill or Britt Baker or whatever. I disagree. Am I right?
Oh, no.
No.
I like Britt Baker better.
Okay, there you go.
Baker better,
so what are we talking about?
For sure.
John,
I was just saying that she's going to win. She's
going
to win the
next
belt.
champ.
No.
Yeah, she's going to win the belt, and then Britt Baker will take it from Ty Conti.
All right. Well, that we could, debate because I could tell you that Ty Conti is definitely not winning next week. And you guys could tell me that maybe she is. You guys could say that she is winning, and then we'll find out next week. Like that we could, argue. But I think Britt Baker is better than Ty Conti. I think Jade Cargill's got way more upside than Ty Conti. And you guys can disagree, and that's fine. And you can be entitled to your opinion. And I can be entitled to mine, and we can disagree, and that's fine because wrestling is subjective. But if you want to say, oh, I think AEW is going to book Ty Conti as their next champion, well, fuck, bet. And John, you don't want to bet on wrestling with me because it doesn't go so well for you most of the time. Ty Conti, 100%.
Well, WrestleMania. Let's look at WrestleMania predictions. I was much better actually than you.
Did you though? Were you?
Yeah, I was.
I don't know. You were off on a few things. You
Not
thought Drew was.
you were, no.
You thought Drew was going to beat Bobby,
and you thought that Asuka was going to successfully defend her title.
That's right,
and she did not.
And she should have.
She did.
Yeah, well,
but she
so
did.
What? That's 1-1, John. I'm still not impressed.
And Braun Strowman, Shane O'Mac.
Did you say Braun would win?
I did.
Okay. Well, good for you, John. Next time, put money on it. You're still the guy.
You thought Shane was going to win that?
Yeah, because Braun's stupid. Makes sense. Braun is stupid. Don't forget,
Shane has
John.
a good WrestleMania record.
Don't forget, John. You
Yeah,
were the
true.
guy after Wrestle Kingdom that said Kenny Omega was going to go to WWE and not join his friends in the newly created AEW, and you bet money on it. And I bet against that.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was the worst
And
wrestling bet ever.
And we
What
see
was the other
Kenny
one?
now regretting it, talking about wanting to go to WWE, make deals with WWE.
Yeah, right.
Regrets.
Regrets it. Sure he does, John. What was the other bet that you made that was really bad? What was the other one that you lost?
Really forgettable.
No, I don't know.
No,
What
I
was
don't think
another
so.
one? Oh, forget it.
I
don't
think you're
care.
dreaming.
Nah, I know there was 2 times where I took money from you because of wrestling bets you made for some reason. Team Taz and
Dreams.
Christian. All right. Christian's interviewed back in the ring by Tony Schiavone. Taz comes out and wants an answer if Christian's going to join Team Taz. Christian says Team Taz is a dumpster fire, and he didn't come to AEW to solve Taz's problems. He came to win championships. And then Taz says, oh, if I was standing on my wallet, I'd be 10 times taller than you. And Christian's like, oh, you mean from that bingo hall money? And Taz is like, oh, other money too. I like that line. Oh, other money too, Christian, not just ECW money, you dick. And then Taz is like, Christian, you're a disrespectful shitbag, and I never liked you or your buddy that carried you all those years. He's talking about Edge, guys. Talking about Edge. And then Will Hobbs and Hook go to the ring. Hook distracts Christian and then allows Will Hobbs to beat the shit out of Christian for a while. So it looks like Christian will wrestle Will Hobbs. Anybody hype for that? I mean, I don't know. Will Hobbs? Okay. I wanted it to be Ricky
Christian
Starks.
wins.
Yeah.
Well, Christian's going to work his way through the ranks here pretty much. I mean, it starts with the Hobbs, and I think he's going to eventually get to Starks and even Brian Cage. So, you know, it's fine. This is great to see Christian. He's probably going to be wrestling more often, so this is good.
You think Christian wrestles Hobbs? Is that happening next week? Oh, yeah, that is next week. Oh, okay. So he's just going to be working a lot, wrestling a lot of guys. Maybe we will get Ricky Starks. I thought this was like a feud that we were going to start. I thought Christian was going to sell the beating and not wrestle next week, but they're doing the match next week. Christian versus Hobbs. We'll also have Shida versus Conti for the women's title, where Shida will retain, guys, okay? Ricky Starks is going to wrestle Hangman Page next week, which should be really good. And then Trent.
You're probably right.
I know I'm
but
right.
I hope Conti wins, though.
Yeah,
I want her to win.
Fair.
Okay. Well, you can want all you want. Ricky Starks is going to wrestle Hangman Page. I think that'll be really good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of both those guys.
That should be good, yeah.
And Trent versus Pentagon, I think, should be good too. I really like Pentagon. Everybody goes crazy over Phoenix, but to me, like, Pentagon is my guy. I like Pentagon better than Phoenix. Maybe that's
Really?
just me.
I
That's
just find
different.
Phoenix has
In a
incredible
sense.
matches.
Yeah, but I like Penta's style a little bit more. He's a little more hard-hitting. He seems a bit more violent. He seems meaner than Phoenix. Phoenix is really, like, he does pretty shit, but Penta is a little bit more, drop you on your head, package pile driver you, shit like that.
Well, he's more the power of the group.
Yeah, I like that a little bit more. Power and lucha. I mean, he can do flips too. He's just not as flippy as his brother, Rey Fenix. Darby Allin and Matt Hardy. This was my match of the night, guys. The main event. I thought this was the best match we saw tonight. It was a lot of fun. John, I know you didn't like so much interference going on, and I agree. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. But goddamn did Matt Hardy and Darby Allin work really hard. Butcher, Blade, Private Party showed up at one point to help Matt Hardy. Butcher threw a trash can at Darby's head, which was pretty good, landed flush. Dark Order came out to take out Butcher and the Blade, and then Sting, Darby's buddy, came out to take out Private Party. Started beating up Private Party for a while. And then Matt Hardy whipped Darby into the barricade, and he flew over it. Like, that was amazing. When Matt Hardy did that whip and Darby kind of lands on the stairs and does like a flip over the stairs into the barricades, like first row, that was amazing, right? Darby does some really cool shit. And he just, throws caution to the wind, as they say, right? He just doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't care about his own safety. He's just going for it. And I like that a lot. Him and Matt Hardy had a great match. Really good chemistry between these two. And I love that Matt Hardy could be in one of these types of matches still in 2021 and pull it off and look great doing it. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page show up, and I think they wanted to attack Sting, right? They showed up, and the announcers are like, oh, they're here to get Sting. But before we could understand what the hell they were doing there, Lance Archer showed up and, cut them off. And then they just went backstage, Ethan Page and Scorpio. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. That was a little weird. And then Archer came in.
Either.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have
That's
Jake
good.
with him. Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't
thank
need
God.
Jake. But, without commentary explaining to you why Scorpio and Ethan Page were there, Do you understand what the hell they're doing there? Like, has that been
Well,
explained
if you
that
saw
they hate Sting?
at the beginning of the match, they're kind of like laughing at Darby for whatever reason. So they clearly have an issue with Darby.
And Sting.
Well, guilty by association.
I thought it was more Sting and Darby's by association. I don't know. Lance Archer showed up, helped Sting, and kind of stared Sting down, and then hit the blackout on one of the private parties, and kind of was like trying to impress Sting, but also intimidate him at the same time, and help him with private party. So Archer's doing this weird thing where he's like, wants to wrestle Sting, but he has respect for him, I guess. Is that the deal? Like, are we headed towards an Archer versus Sting match? Or are we headed towards some sort of super group with Archer, Sting, Darby, and Jake?
It really could go either way at this point.
Right? It could go either way. What's your best guess? Yeah. Glenn, what do you think? Group or match? Or both?
Well, the problem, I thought they were setting it up for a match, but it doesn't make sense for Sting to fight him. I mean, like, he'll kill Sting. You know what I mean? Like, and if Sting actually beats him, it won't. I don't see how it could anyway be beatable unless it's like a no DQ match and he uses his bat, or, you know, like, again, they have like a 90-guy run-in like they did tonight in the main event.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be right. I didn't think about the angle of them grouping together. Which is possible. I mean, AEW is grouping everybody together, like we've talked about for the last couple of weeks. So you never know; they might be grouping them together.
It wouldn't be the worst thing. It wouldn't be that bad. Darby and Lance together with Jake and Sting as kind of their manager, old guys to help them out. Wouldn't be that bad. So after the Archer Sting spot, we're going back to Matt Hardy and Darby Allin in their match. Matt hit a twist of fate with a chair for Darby for a 2 count on the stage. Then they go backstage, put Darby on a table. Matt sets up a ladder, and he does his, which I really like, the Matt Hardy. I got to get further back so you see that. You know when he does that with the fingers? Jesus. And then he does the leg drop?
Yes. Look like my last Tinder date there.
Oh, gross. So Matt Hardy, I like when he goes, he makes that sound. And Matt does the leg
like
drop.
The guy from the Goonies.
I've never seen that either. It's another movie I've not seen.
Come on.
Matt does a leg drop off the ladder through a table onto Darby backstage for another 2 count. And then they bring him back to the stage in front of the people. Matt goes to powerbomb Darby, but then Darby escapes and kicks Matt in the balls, which I thought, again, Jericho got help from Sammy to get the babyface win, kind of in a heelish way, and here Darby to escape a move, and I know it's a no DQ false count anywhere, and they're hitting each other with weapons and shit, but hitting somebody in the head with a chair is one thing. Kicking a guy in the balls is kind of a heelish move. So Darby kicks Matt in the balls, then goes for the baseball bat, smashes up the announcer's desk with the baseball bat, kind of scaring Jim Ross by smashing up his monitor, and then he sets up Matt Hardy on the announcer's desk after hitting him a bunch with the baseball bat, and he goes and starts climbing this thing, and, he climbed up pretty high, and then he did the coffin drop through the announce table, 1, 2, 3, and he won. I kind of thought he was going to go higher. For that move, it was cool and all, and it was well done, and it was definitely a stunt, but that thing, had some length to it. I thought he would, it had some height. He could go a little higher on it, and it would be really crazy. But he didn't. He hit that move.
He's jumping backwards, though, man.
Yeah, I know, but like,
where he's really going.
Look, I've seen Jeff Hardy do some shit.
Yeah.
I know I'm greedy, but come on. You remember Jeff Hardy on Randy Orton? It was like 60 feet in the air.
Yeah, but again, he's jumping backwards. Like,
I know. Well, Jeff is doing a flip in the air still.
Yeah, but he can eyeball where he's
but he's able to look and see himself and everything. Like, to just jump backwards.
Darby. Darby, look, he's got his head turned the whole time like he's a pitcher looking at first base, trying to pick off the runner.
Come on.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, but I mean, even the way they position the table, they position it lengthwise instead of the other way. You know how they crack through to give him a little bit more.
He was on an angle doing that. That's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Look,
Guaranteed.
I liked it. It was a nice move. It was impressive. But when he started climbing, I was like, holy shit, he's going to like climb to the top of this thing and it's going to be nuts. And then he just kind of climbed to the bottom of the thing and jumped off. And it was nice, but it was like, how high is that really? It doesn't seem that high. It just didn't seem that high.
They were saying it was 20 feet. I don't think it was
bullshit.
20 feet.
No, it was like 10
It was
feet.
probably maybe 10.
No, but
yeah.
it was
It
still
didn't
high.
seem-
like,
It didn't seem higher than if you were to go off the top rope to the floor outside. It seemed about the same.
No. It was
More than that,
maybe halfway
you think?
up a steel cage. Yeah, for sure.
Halfway up a
It was
steel
little bit
cage.
higher.
I just saw 50-year-old Shane McMahon get tossed up off the top of a steel cage the other day. So it just didn't
I think
seem
Shane
that
had
high.
armor on his back, by the way.
No
Did
way.
you notice that he had?
No
Yes, he had
way.
padding on his back for sure.
well, he's probably
Look at-
wearing an extra shirt underneath his jersey.
Maybe.
Well, he was, but it looked like there was extra padding on his spine. You can see when he gets up. That's why he
That's
had that
crazy.
double. Like it was actually like a fluffier. I forgot to make that point, but like when I looked at it again, anyways, it looks like he has something protecting his spine. It was a hell of a bump, though.
Well, maybe I'm just too greedy, but I thought Darby Allin and Matt Hardy was still match of the night, you know, despite the fact that they did a lot of run-ins and there was some weird Sting stuff, and I thought Darby was maybe going to go higher off the thing, but it was still pretty impressive, and it was still a hell of a finish, and that coffin drop finisher is so damn nice, and I love seeing Matt Hardy in this style of match. This is, you know, what made Matt Hardy famous, and the fact that he's doing it with this next generation of performer, a guy who, you know, you can't help but compare to Matt's brother Jeff. There's a lot of similarities between Jeff and Darby, and seeing Matt have this one-on-one match with Darby in a Falls Count Anywhere, it really felt like a passing of the torch to this type of style, and I loved it. This is a historic match. I hope it meant a lot to Darby. I think for wrestling fans, this is a match that means a lot. You know, you see Matt Hardy, a guy who kind of pioneered this style that Darby's doing, go out there and still have a hell of a match. I thought it was a cool moment for pro wrestling. So that's my match of the night tonight. Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin. Darby retaining the TNT title.
Well, Darby's awesome as
Yep.
as always, and you know
He's
it's good to see Matt still able to do matches like this. He probably shouldn't do matches like this, but it's cool that he actually still wants to. But this was great for Darby. You know, they're building a brand new star, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, he is fantastic. He is one of their top stars, and he's one of these guys that you never heard of really before AEW, and now, you know, he's a big-time name in the world of professional wrestling. AEW's done a really, really good job with making Darby a big-time star. John, your match of the night was Jericho versus the FTR Axe. Mine was Darby versus Matt. Glenn, was your match of the night Jade Cargill? What's your match of the night tonight? Did we get one from you?
I had a tie. I had a
It was
tie
the
with
first
the first
match.
one. With the, well, to me, it's 50-50 with the one with the Young Bucks and the one with Darby at the end.
There you
I
go.
didn't like all the run-ins with at the end. It was a little too much. It didn't really make sense to me. I guess they're setting something up there. I just don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, I just, you know, it's a tie between the two. I enjoyed both.
I liked it. I thought the show tonight was pretty good. Well, maybe not the best episode of Dynamite ever, but I liked it. I thought, you know, we had some really good wrestling matches. Top to bottom, it was a solid show. There was no match that I saw tonight that I thought was awful. Although Go-Go versus Cole Carter was pretty bad, I guess. But it was short,
It was
so
fast.
it was short, so it didn't really offend me that much. Everything else was like pretty good. You know, Bucks against Pocket Phoenix was good. I loved Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. You know me. I loved Jericho against Dax. Statlander and Nova was good. And Darby versus Matt Hardy was tremendous. So, you know, good wrestling tonight on AEW Dynamite, which we cover every single week here. This is the team. This is the Dynamite team every single week right after Dynamite, 10 p.m. Eastern. We are here on the Ringside Report Network. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, you click that bell so you get notifications every time that we're on. You could check us out online. We are at ringsidereport.net. Check us out. That's our website, ringsidereport.net. All the things are there. If you missed our WrestleMania shows, you could check them out. The WrestleMania post-show, Night 1 and Night 2, I was on Monday night right after Raw. You can check out that show on our website, ringsidereport.net. Don't forget to become a member of the channel. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net and merch.ringsidereport.net. That's it. Glenn?
Super chat.
Uh-oh. What? Angelo right at the end. He always does it. He
What a
always
guy.
gets me.
Sneaks it right in there, eh?
Angelo bringing it in at the end.
Always.
Thank you, Angelo. We appreciate you. He says, solid Dynamite show tonight. Thank you, Angelo. Because of guys like Angelo, we are doing all these shows. So many shows all the time. Very busy. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 8 p.m., to give you some winners for UFC Whitaker versus Gastelum. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., it will be our UFC MMA show. We'll also give you a little preview for the Jake Paul-Ben Askren boxing match that is this Saturday night. We are doing a watch-along for the Jake
Excited about that.
Paul-Ben Askren boxing match. I mean, everybody's
I'm excited about that.
It's going to be crazy.
Frank Mir's in there.
He's boxing.
The undercard's action. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Frank Mir.
Mir is the
they got some
co-main
pretty
event.
good undercard fights.
It is crazy. Justin Bieber
Yeah.
will be performing, so you know AJ's excited. That's happening Saturday night, and we are doing a live watch-along here on the Ringside Report Network for the Jake Paul-Ben Askren fight. Do not forget
It's going to be awesome.
to join us on Saturday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so fun. We're going to be talking mad shit, and I'm pretty sure our boxing analyst, Matt Casavan, who works for Rival Boxing, he's good. You know, he's in there. He has his own YouTube show with, of course, the coach Russ Amber, who's a great boxing guy. So Matt is our boxing expert, and he's going to be doing the watch-along with us to break down the boxing angle of this, and I'll be breaking down the hip-hop angle of everything because there'll be a lot of hip-hop stars. Saweetie will be performing. Glenn, I know you're a big Saweetie fan.
Oh, huge. I got all his albums.
She's a woman.
Angelo
Angelo on the chat says Askren is winning. I got it. I got Askren too, but hey, we'll see. It's gonna be fun on Saturday night. I'm looking.
We gotta
forward
put some
to
money
it.
on that, man. I don't know. I think Jake Paul might.
I don't know either. I don't think
people with that one.
I'm not putting money on that. I'd much rather put money on Robert Whitaker over Kelvin Gastelum. I think that's the smarter money this weekend, and that's where I think we're gonna be going tomorrow night. Thursday nights, 8 p.m., we talk about everything in combat sports, usually sticking to mixed martial arts, but we'll dip into a little boxing as well. Then Friday night, Johnny and I will be back to talk some WWE after SmackDown, 10 p.m., and then, of course, the main event of the week will be Jake Paul and Ben Askren, our watch-along on Saturday night. Thank you to all the members, Doug Hepburn, Angelo, Craig, Antoinette, Patrick, of course, all the members of the team, and of course Patrick, Captain Jobber as well. Thank you, Captain Jobber, out in Colombia, joining us tonight. Yeah, great name. Captain Jobber dropping the super chat. We appreciate you, Captain Jobber. Angelo as well. Doug Hepburn. Our super chat of the leader tonight is our man out in Regina, Saskatchewan, Patrick C. Hamilton. Appreciate you, Patrick, and everybody contributing to the Ringside Report Network. You guys are keeping the lights on, and we appreciate you for it. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. with Freddie and AJ. Until then, see you.